My husband's new female friend messaged him that he could do whatever he wanted to her, so I took a screenshot and blasted her on social media. My husband James does downhill mountain biking. He's been riding since he was 16, knows every trail in our area, goes out every morning at 6 with our 3 German shepherds. It's his thing. 6 months ago, he came home earlier than usual. While he was out, he found this girl who crashed hard and broken her wrist. Being James, he helped her, got her to the parking lot, loaded up the dogs and bikes, drove her to urgent care, waited while they referred her to the hospital, then came home like it was nothing. A week later, one of his riding buddies sent him a screenshot. She'd posted in multiple Facebook groups trying to find James with the black truck and 3 dogs who saved me. My husband isn't on social media, so he told his friend to give her his number. She texted to confirm it was him. He said, "Yes, glad you're healing, happy to help." She offered money or lunch. He declined, just said he was happy to help and left it at that. At first, the texts were normal. "Hey, hope you're well." Every few days, nothing weird. Then she started getting better and could ride again. That's when it changed to, "We should hit the trail sometime." Here's the thing. My husband used to ride competitively. He's fast, really fast. So are the guys he rides with. This girl was a beginner who just recovered from a broken wrist. There's no way she could keep up, and he knew it. He tried to decline politely, maybe another time, but she kept pushing. Eventually, he agreed to meet her once, gave her some tips on her form and technique. That was supposed to be it. Instead, she started texting constantly, asking about gear recommendations, about his training schedule. Could he tutor her? Random stuff about biking. This went on for months. I never once felt concerned. James leaves his phone on the kitchen counter with no passcode. Our 7-year-old daughter plays games on it. The texts sync to our iPad and laptop. He knows this, doesn't care. He's never given me a reason not to trust him. But her, I started noticing things. She always initiated. If he didn't respond, she'd send multiple messages until he did. And she never, not once, acknowledged I existed. When James mentioned, "Can't ride Sunday, it's my wife's birthday," she'd immediately change the subject. When he said, "Have to leave early for my daughter's dance recital," she'd ignore it completely and ask about his bike setup, like she was pretending our family didn't exist. Last week, I was using the iPad when her messages started popping up. They'd bumped into each other on the trails that morning. Normal conversation at first. Then they got talking about the dogs, how well trained they are, how they watch his every move. Then she sent, "They're so obedient, like a slave looking to please their master." My stomach dropped. I scrolled back through weeks of texts. The undertones were there. "You're so strong. I bet you could teach me anything. Wish I had someone like you to show me the ropes." James had responded to everything completely platonically. "Check out this YouTube channel for technique. That brand makes good helmets." He genuinely didn't see it. Then yesterday morning, the message came through that made me see red. "You know you can do whatever you want to me, right? I'm not like other girls who have rules and boundaries. Just saying." I sat there staring at the iPad for a whole minute. Then I opened her Facebook profile. She tagged James's riding buddy in old posts, so I found her easily. I took a screenshot of her message, opened our town's Facebook group, the one where everyone knows everyone, and I posted it. PSA, if you're looking for a married biking buddy, here's someone who respects marriages and boundaries. I tagged her, tagged 3 mutual friends from the biking community. The post exploded within 20 minutes. James came home and I showed him the post. He looked confused and said she hadn't texted him in 2 days, which was weird because she usually texted every morning. Then his riding buddy called and said, "Dude, you need to see this." He'd checked his trail cameras because he'd been having issues with people vandalizing the bike path. The footage from this morning showed her sitting on a rock at James's usual 6 a.m. spot, just sitting there, waiting. She'd been there since 5:30, but James didn't ride today because our daughter had an early dentist appointment. When we watched the footage, I felt this cold thing settle in my chest. She was wearing the exact same color scheme I usually wear when I go running, down to the bright pink running shoes. She had her hair pulled back in a ponytail, same way I always do mine. And she just sat there on that rock, checking her phone every few minutes, looking around like she was expecting someone. That's weird, right? James said, running his hand through his hair. Like, really weird? I didn't answer because I was already scrolling through her Facebook again. This time I wasn't just looking at the messages. I was looking at everything. Her profile picture had changed 3 weeks ago. Before, it was a selfie with a bunch of friends at some bar. Now it was her on a trail. Same trail where James rides, wearing a tank top that showed off her arms, one hand shading her eyes as she looked off into the distance. The comments were what you'd expect. Looking strong, gorgeous. But what got me was her response to one of them. Training hard, got some motivation to keep up with lately. I showed James. He frowned. "You think she means me? Who else would she mean?" He sat down heavily on the couch. Our daughter was upstairs watching cartoons, oblivious to all of this. "I was just trying to be nice," he said quietly. "She was hurt. I wasn't thinking." "I know," I cut him off. "This isn't on you." But honestly, part of me wondered if he'd been too nice. If all those polite responses, all those times he answered her questions instead of just ignoring her, had given her the wrong idea. Then I felt guilty for even thinking it, because James is just a genuinely helpful person. That's who he is. My phone started blowing up. The Facebook post had over 200 comments already. Most of them were from people in our biking community, people who knew James, saying things like, "This is gross," and "leave married men alone." A few people were defending her, saying I was overreacting, that she probably didn't mean it that way. But then James's buddy sent another screenshot. She'd posted in one of the riding groups just an hour after my post went up. Some people can't handle when their husbands have female friends. Guess insecurity runs deep. I laughed. But it wasn't a funny laugh. It was that sharp, angry sound that comes out when you're so pissed you can't even form words properly. She's delusional, I said. James was reading the comments on my post now, his face getting redder. I need to block her.
You think?
He pulled out his phone and blocked her number right there. Then he went through and blocked her on every platform his friends had connected him to, even though he barely used any of them. I watched him do it, feeling this sick satisfaction that at least now she couldn't contact him directly. But something told me that wasn't going to be enough. That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking about her sitting on that rock, waiting. Kept thinking about the way she'd completely ignored every mention of me and our daughter. Like if she just pretended hard enough, we'd disappear. Around 2 a.m., I got up and checked the security camera we have on our front porch. It's one of those Ring doorbell things. I scrolled back through the footage from the past week, not really sure what I was looking for, and then I found it. 3 days ago, at 11:47 p.m., there was movement on our porch. The camera caught someone walking up our driveway, looking around, then leaving something by the door before walking away quickly. I couldn't see their face because they were wearing a hoodie, but I could see what they left. I went downstairs and checked. Sure enough, there was a small paper bag tucked beside our recycling bin that I hadn't noticed before. Inside were 3 dog treats, the expensive organic kind, and a coffee gift card to the place James goes every morning. No note, nothing. Just the treats and the card. I took the bag back upstairs and woke James up. Look at this. He sat up, groggy, and I showed him the footage and the bag. His expression went from confused to disturbed in about 3 seconds. How does she know where we live? He asked. I don't know, but she does. We lay there in the dark for a while, neither of us talking. Finally, James said, I'll call the police in the morning. This is stalking, right?
I think so, yeah.
But even as I said it, I wasn't sure. She hadn't threatened us, hadn't done anything technically illegal. She was just being creepy, and I didn't know if that was enough. The next morning, James did call the non-emergency line. The officer who answered listened to everything, took down the information, but basically told us what I'd been afraid of. Unless she made a direct threat or did something like trespass or damage our property, there wasn't much they could do. He suggested we document everything and call again if it escalated. If it escalates, I repeated after James hung up, great. Our daughter came downstairs asking for breakfast, and we had to switch into normal parent mode. Made her pancakes, helped her find her library book for school, kissed her goodbye when the bus came. The whole time I kept looking out the window, half expecting to see that girl standing across the street, just watching. She wasn't there, but I couldn't shake the feeling that she was somewhere close. That afternoon, I picked up our daughter from school and took her to soccer practice like always. It's at the park near our house, just a 10-minute drive. The practice field is surrounded by a chain-link fence, and there are usually a bunch of parents sitting on the bleachers, watching. I was scrolling through my phone, half watching the girls run drills, when I noticed someone sitting alone at the far end of the bleachers. She was wearing sunglasses and had her hair up, but something about her posture made me look twice. It was her. I stood up slowly, my heart starting to pound. She wasn't looking at me. She was watching the field, watching the girls practice. Our daughter was out there, running after the ball with her teammates, completely unaware. I walked over. What are you doing here? She looked up and smiled. Actually smiled. Oh, hi. I didn't know you'd be here. This is my daughter's soccer practice. Why are you here? I like watching soccer, she said simply. It's a public park. She was right, and she knew it. Technically, anyone could sit on these bleachers. But the way she said it, so calm and casual, made my skin crawl. You need to leave, I said, trying to keep my voice steady. I'm not doing anything wrong, she said, still smiling, still so fucking calm. I wanted to grab her and physically remove her from the bleachers, but I knew that would just make me look crazy. Instead, I pulled out my phone and took a picture of her sitting there. What are you doing? She asked, the smile finally faltering. Documenting, I said, since apparently that's all I can do. I walked back to my spot and called James. He answered on the second ring. She's here, I said, at soccer practice. What? She's sitting on the bleachers. Says she just likes watching soccer. I could hear him breathing hard on the other end. I'm coming over. No, it's fine. Practice is almost done. But James, she knew where to find us. After I hung up, I looked back over at her. She was talking to another parent now, a mom I recognized but didn't know well. They were chatting like old friends, the woman nodding and smiling at whatever the girl was saying. When practice ended, I grabbed our daughter's hand and walked quickly to the car. I didn't look back at the bleachers, didn't want to see if she was still there. Mom, you're hurting my hand, my daughter said. I loosened my grip. Sorry, baby. Just want to get home. Who was that lady you were talking to? Nobody, I said. Just somebody who was sitting in the wrong place. That night, James and I had a long talk after our daughter went to bed. We agreed we needed to be more careful. No more posting about where we'd be on social media, even in private groups. We'd vary our routines, take different routes to school and work. We'd make sure our daughter knew not to talk to strangers, especially women who seemed to know our family. It felt paranoid, but it also felt necessary. For a few days, things were quiet. No more packages on the porch, no more sightings. I started to wonder if maybe the Facebook post had scared her off, made her realize how crazy she looked. But then James found his truck unlocked. It was a Tuesday morning. He'd gone out to load his bike for his usual ride. He'd started going at different times now, never the same schedule, and found the driver's side door slightly ajar. His seat was pushed back farther than he ever kept it. His riding gloves, which he always kept in the center console, were on the passenger seat. And there was a smell, faint, but definitely there. Perfume. Someone was in my truck, he said when he came back inside, his face pale. I felt sick. Did they take anything? No, that's what's weird. Nothing's missing. They just moved things around. We checked the security camera footage, but our driveway is just out of range. Whoever did it knew exactly where to park to avoid being seen. James called the police again. Same officer as before, same response. No evidence of forced entry, nothing stolen, can't really do anything. Document it. Call if it happens again. This is bullshit, James said after he hung up. I couldn't disagree. He started locking his truck in the garage after that, even though it meant I had to park on the street. We both agreed it was worth the inconvenience. But the thing about this girl, whoever she was that she was patient. She didn't do anything dramatic or obvious. She just kept showing up in small ways, testing boundaries, seeing what she could get away with. A week later, my best friend texted me. Is there a reason someone who looks exactly like you was at the trail parking lot this morning? I called her immediately. What do you mean, looks like me? I went for a hike before work and there was this woman in the parking lot. Same build as you, same hair color, wearing the exact same brand of running clothes you always wear. I almost said hi before I realized it wasn't you. What was she doing? Just sitting in her car, watching the trailhead. The cold feeling was back. What time? Around 6. Why? 6 a.m., James's old riding time, the time she knew he used to go. Did you see what kind of car? Silver Honda. Didn't catch the plate. After I hung up, I went to her Facebook page again. I'd been checking it obsessively, and I knew she'd been posting less since my call-out post, but her profile picture had changed again. Now it was her wearing a jacket identical to one I owned. Same brand, same color, same style. In the photo, she was standing in front of a trail marker I recognized, one near our house. I showed James. She's dressing like me now. He stared at the screen. That's your jacket. Same one, yeah. This is insane. I know. I scrolled back through her photos, looking at her older posts from before she'd met James. Her style had been completely different. Lots of black, edgy outfits, dark makeup. Now every recent photo showed her in bright athletic wear, hair in a ponytail, minimal makeup. She was turning herself into a version of me. I'm going to add more cameras, James said. Front and back of the house, the garage. I don't care what it costs. We spent that weekend installing a whole security system. Cameras everywhere, motion sensors, the works. Our daughter thought it was cool, like we were living in a spy movie. We didn't tell her the real reason. The cameras caught her exactly 3 days later. It was a Sunday morning around 6:15 a.m. I was still in bed, but I got an alert on my phone that there was movement in the backyard. I pulled up the app and felt my blood run cold. She was in our backyard, not trying to break in, not doing anything destructive. She was just standing there by the sliding glass door, looking in at our living room. Our 3 German shepherds were inside, and they were going crazy, barking and jumping at the door. I scrambled out of bed and ran downstairs, James right behind me. By the time we got to the door, she was gone. But the cameras had recorded everything. In the footage, you could see her standing there for almost 5 minutes, just watching. When the dog started barking louder, she didn't run. She just calmly turned and walked away, like she'd finished what she came to do. She's watching our dogs, I said, my voice shaking. She's watching them through our fucking window. James called the police immediately. This time they actually sent someone out. A young officer who looked like he'd rather be anywhere else took our statement, watched the footage, and said he'd file a report. Can you do anything? James asked. We can try to locate her and have a conversation, the officer said. Tell her to stay away, but unless she makes a direct threat or tries to enter your property again, our hands are kind of tied. She was in our backyard, I said. I understand, ma'am, but it's not fully fenced, and there's no clear no trespassing signage. A good lawyer could argue she didn't know she wasn't allowed. After he left, James and I just sat there on the couch, stunned. We need to move, I said. We can't let her chase us out of our own home, James said. Then what do we do? He didn't have an answer. That night, my phone rang. Unknown number. I almost didn't answer, but something made me pick up. Hello? Hey! Her voice was bright, friendly, like we were old friends. I know you're probably mad about the Facebook thing, but I really think we should talk. I care about James and I care about his family, which means I care about you too. Can we just get coffee? I sat there, frozen, listening to her talk. She sounded so normal, so reasonable. I think there's been a misunderstanding, she continued. I'm not trying to cause problems. I just want to be friends. I think we'd actually get along really well if you gave me a chance. Stay away from my family, I said, my voice shaking. But why? I don't understand. I haven't done anything wrong. You were in our backyard this morning. A pause. I was just checking on the dogs. I worry when James is gone all day. The way she said it, like it was normal, like it was her responsibility. James is blocking your number, I said. Don't contact us again. But I hung up and immediately blocked the number. Then I sat there staring at my phone, feeling like I was losing my mind. Over the next few days, she started calling from different numbers. I blocked each one. She left voicemails that all had the same tone, that same friendly, apologetic quality. Like she genuinely couldn't understand why we were upset. Then our neighbor knocked on our door. Hey, I wanted to ask if everything's okay, he said awkwardly. He was an older guy, lived across the street with his wife. There's been a woman sitting in a car outside your house most evenings. Silver Honda, just sitting there. My wife and I were wondering if we should call the police. How long has she been doing that? James asked. About a week now. We thought maybe she was waiting for someone, but it's been a while. We thanked him and told him yes. Please call the police if he saw her again. That night, James went outside to confront her. I watched from the window as he walked across the street to where her car was parked. She rolled down the window and smiled at him. I couldn't hear what they were saying, but I could see James gesturing, clearly telling her to leave. She just kept smiling, kept talking. After a few minutes, she started her car and drove away, slowly, like she had all the time in the world. When James came back inside, he looked defeated. "What did she say?" I asked. "She said she likes seeing us all together, that it makes her happy." He sat down heavily. She's not making sense. Nothing I said got through to her. That's when I realized we were dealing with something beyond reason. This wasn't someone who was going to listen to logic or respect boundaries. This was someone who had created an entire reality in her head, and we were all just playing roles in it. The next Saturday morning, there was a knock on our door. I looked through the peephole and felt my stomach drop. It was her. She was standing on our porch, smiling, holding a small cardboard box. Behind me, I could hear our daughter coming down the stairs. "Who is it, Mom?" "Go back upstairs," I said. "But now." Something in my voice made her listen. I waited until I heard her bedroom door close, then opened our door just a crack, the chain lock still on. "Hi," she said brightly. "I brought some things to help with the yard work. I thought since I'll be spending time here anyway, I might as well make myself useful." I stared at her. She was holding a box of gardening supplies, gloves, small tools, seed packets. "You need to leave," I said. Her smile faltered. "But you let me help before. I don't understand what changed." "We never let you help. You're a stranger. Leave. Now." "I'm not a stranger," she said, and she actually looked hurt. "We're friends, or we could be, if you'd just give me a chance." "James helped you once. That doesn't make you part of our lives." "But I want to be," she said simply. Like it was that easy, like wanting something made it true. I slammed the door and locked it, stood there with my back against it, trying to catch my breath. I could hear her on the other side, still talking. "I'm leaving the box here, in case you change your mind. I really think we could be friends." Eventually, I heard her footsteps walking away. I waited 5 minutes before opening the door again. The box was there, sitting neatly on our welcome mat. I left it there and called the police. Again. This time, they sent the same young officer from before. He looked at the box, listened to me explain what had happened, and made notes. "Did she threaten you?" he asked. "No." "Did she try to force her way inside?" "No." "Did she damage anything?" "No, but..." "Ma'am, I understand this is frustrating, but she brought you a gift. That's not illegal." "She's stalking us." "I know, and we've documented everything. But legally, our hands are tied. She hasn't done anything that rises to the level of criminal behavior." After he left, I threw the box in the trash and then dragged the trash can to the curb even though it wasn't trash day. I didn't want that thing anywhere near our house. James came home from the grocery store an hour later, and I told him what happened. He went pale. "She came to the door? With gardening supplies. Said she'd be spending time here anyway, so she might as well help." "Jesus Christ." He ran both hands through his hair. "What is wrong with her?" "I don't know, but we need to do something." "Like what?" "The police won't help. We can't get a restraining order because she hasn't technically done anything that qualifies. What are we supposed to do?" We didn't have an answer. The following week, I was at the grocery store with our daughter when the cashier, a woman I'd seen dozens of times, said something that made my blood run cold. "Your friend was in here earlier," she said, scanning our items. "Bought the exact same stuff as last week. She must really like your shopping list." "What friend?" I asked carefully. "I don't know her name. Brunette. About your height. She comes in every Sunday, always right after you leave. Buys the same brands, same quantities. I figured you two were shopping together or something." I felt like I might throw up. "We're not friends." The cashier's smile faded. "Oh, that's kind of weird then." When we got home, I checked our receipts from the past month. We shopped at the same store, same day, usually around 10 a.m. She must have been watching, learning our routine, then coming in right after us and buying exactly what we bought. She was mimicking our entire life. "I can't do this anymore," I told James that night. "This isn't normal stalking. This is something else." "I know. She thinks she's part of our family. She thinks she's replacing me." "I know. So what do we do?" He pulled me close. "I don't know, but we'll figure it out. We have to." But we didn't figure it out, because 2 days later, she showed up again. This time, it was a weekday afternoon. I was home alone, working from my laptop at the kitchen table, when I heard the dogs going crazy. I looked up and saw her. She was in our backyard again, but this time she wasn't just standing there. She was sitting, on our patio furniture, like she belonged there. I ran to the sliding door and threw it open. "Get the fuck off our property!" She looked up, startled but not scared. "I was just checking on them. The dogs. I worry when James is gone." "He's not your responsibility, but I care about them," she said, standing up slowly. "I care about all of you. That's what families do, right? They look out for each other." "We're not a family," I said. "You need help, professional help." "I don't need help," she said calmly. "I need you to understand that I'm not going anywhere. James and I have a connection. You can either accept that or make this harder than it needs to be." I pulled out my phone and called 911. She saw me doing it, and finally, she looked concerned. "I was just leaving," she said, backing toward the fence. "Stay there," I said. "The police are coming." But she didn't stay. She climbed over our back fence, quick and practiced, like she'd done it before. By the time I got around to the front of the house, she was gone. The police came. I gave my statement. They added it to the file. Nothing changed. That night, I couldn't sleep again. I kept thinking about what she'd said. "I'm not going anywhere," like it was a promise, or a threat, or both. James had started sleeping with a baseball bat next to the bed. We'd taught our daughter to call 911 if she ever saw that lady near our house. We'd stopped posting anything on social media, stopped telling people our plans, stopped living like normal people, and still, she was there, always there, hovering at the edges of our life, waiting. The breaking point came on a random Thursday morning. I was getting ready for work when there was another knock at the door. I looked through the peephole and felt everything inside me go cold. It was her again, but this time she was holding something different, a folder. I opened the door with the chain still on, my phone already in my hand ready to call the police.
"I made something for you," she said. Her voice was soft, kind even. "I know this is hard for you. I know leaving is scary, but I want to help."
What are you talking about? She held up the folder. I've been doing research, found some really great apartments in nice neighborhoods, made a budget breakdown to show you it's affordable. There are even a few landlords who've already confirmed they have availability. Look, I even printed the emails. I stared at her, not understanding. Why would I need? For when you leave, she said simply, like it was obvious. I know you're probably worried about finding a place, especially with your daughter, but I wanted to show you that you have options. Good options. Places where you'll be happy. She thought I was leaving. She actually genuinely believed that I was going to pack up my life and just go, so she could take my place. "You made this for me," I said slowly. "A folder, to help me leave my own family." "To help make it easier," she corrected. "I know it's a big decision, but you deserve to be happy too. And once you're settled, I can help with the transition. With your daughter, with the house, with James. I promise I'll take good care of everything." Her eyes were completely sincere. She wasn't trying to threaten me. She wasn't trying to scare me. She genuinely believed she was being helpful, being kind. She was trying to ease me out of my own life as gently as possible. I took the folder through the crack in the door, opened it. Inside were printed emails to landlords, saved apartment listings with notes in the margins, a handwritten budget showing me how much I'd need for deposits and first month's rent. She'd even highlighted the pet-friendly options in case I wanted to take one of the dogs. Everything was organized, color-coded, thorough. She'd put hours into this. Days, maybe. "I thought it might help," she said, smiling that sincere, genuine smile. "I know you're scared. Change is always scary, but I promise, everything is going to be okay. I'll make sure of it." That's when I realized no amount of police reports or restraining orders or security cameras was going to fix this, because she wasn't operating in the same reality as the rest of us. In her head, this was already happening. I was already leaving. She was already moving in. She was already James's partner, already our daughter's new mother, already part of this family. And nothing I said or did was going to change what she believed was true. I closed the door and locked it, stood there holding her folder, my hands shaking. James came down the stairs. "Who was that?" I handed him the folder without saying anything. He opened it, read through a few pages, and his face went white. "She made you a moving guide." "She thinks I'm leaving," I said. "She thinks this is already decided." We stood there together in our hallway, in the house we'd lived in for 8 years, with our daughter asleep upstairs and our dogs curled up in their beds. And for the first time since this all started, I realized we might actually have to leave. Not because she was dangerous in a violent way, but because she was never going to stop. She was going to keep showing up, keep inserting herself, keep pretending until either we broke or she did. And I wasn't sure which one would happen first. Thanks for watching till the end. Make sure to like and subscribe to not miss the next story.